Good morning, here's Kramer's Corner with Daily Technical Update. It is Thursday the 13th of June, and let's just have a quick look at Broadcom that announced earnings last night in the aftermarket and traded 15% higher. They will also do a stock split 1 to 10. Market here pre-market also trading around 1680 at the moment, as indicated by this horizontal line. So really strong moves here in semiconductor, and that is of course will also lift other semiconductor stocks in the coming days. I don't have a target at the moment on Broadcom. We are at all-time highs, so as you can see here, there's really no resistance ahead, so very strong move. Let's see where it ends tonight. That can be also be key. The market was strong yesterday after FOMC meetings, and most of the big names in technology and semiconductor were quite higher. Microsoft, Apple, very strong also again yesterday, Amazon and so on. And as we can see here, S&P 500 shot higher, but had a little bit of weakness towards the end of the session. It almost reached 176.4 projection at 5,456. There's still potential higher. There's no divergence on the RSI, which is in showing positive sentiment. So we could see in the coming weeks 5,500 possibly for S&P to reach that level. Also Nasdaq, of course, very strong, actually reached my first target at 19,500, shot a little bit higher, but it now has to 20,000 inside. And if we just taking out the weekly chart I've been shown a few times over the past months, it reached 100%, as you can see here. So now it's just as long, this uptrend we have seen here since Q4 is just as long as the cup to the brim of the handle or the cup here. However, there's still a potential up. If we do an extension, well, then there's potential up to 20,128 around that level, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that being reached. There's a divergence on the weekly RSI, but fairly strong market at the moment, and don't fight the trend. But what can be said, if it closes the gap that was created here last night or yesterday, then we could be in for some trouble. But I don't expect that to occur. Moving on to the European markets, they are on broad picture, a little bit more range bound. Eurostock still can't really move anywhere, so we're still stuck in this range here. So let's move on to DAX. That is maybe a little bit more interesting. Actually had a strong session yesterday, but it really needs to get back above that level, 18,785. If we do get above that, then we could get a little bit of an uptrend, potential new all-time highs. Amsterdam index, of course, much stronger. It is particularly ASML that is doing that. We pushed higher to 935. Very close to at least. Still an uptrend, struggling a little bit it seems, but I think in the coming weeks we could move to 940. The problem is it's being weighed down by the other constituents in the market. CAC 40 is still quite heavy. Also, selling price today was a little bit relief yesterday, but I think we will see in the coming weeks it will slide lower towards the 7,700 around this level here. It really needs to move above the 7,932 for just go into a neutral mode, but it really needs to get back above 8,100 for a bullish trend, at least as the picture is now. The Swiss market, strong bounce yesterday, a little bit setback today, but we're still above this lower steep rising trend line here. If it breaks below 12,000 and 12,040, well, expect a sell-off. It will probably try to cancel this top and reversal pattern here. We have this Doji star, so it's a Doji evening star at the moment. But I need a confirmation below here, 12,040 level for further selling. I think in the next couple of days probably try to crawl a little bit higher, but it will be a bit of a struggle. Moving on to euro dollar as usual, that bounced off the 107.25 support. Touched the rising trend line here and reached the 61.8 retracement of this sell-off we have seen here in early June. We are back above the cloud. We are still in a positive sentiment on the RSI. I think we will maybe see it trying to push higher here, at least short term. But in the broader term, I think we could be stuck range bound between 109 and 107, 7 and a quarter. We can see all the moving averages. They are more or less at the same level and moving sideways. We really need something that could either push it below 107 quarter or above a 109 and a change here for really an uptrend. I think if it takes out yesterday's peak, well, then there's a good chance the 109 and even 109.80 level could be reached. Euro sterling has been strange lately, a little bit of a bounce here, but there's still potential down to 84 and lower. Cable spiked above 128.18 yesterday, but closed below. If it takes it out a second time, I think it will push towards 129. Otherwise, we're also being stuck range bound here, maybe to the weaker side a little bit in the coming days. The yen pairs well, a lot of volatility, but not really. You see a lot of volatility yesterday, but not really. Didn't get anywhere. And the dollar yen is slowly moving towards 158, 158 and a half. And I think we will also in the coming week push above this previous all-time. Not all time, but this previous peak close here at 158.35, 34. No divergence on the RSI, and we're still in a positive sentiment, so we should move higher. Euro yen, I think we will see it pushing towards 171 after being rejected at the 168 and a quarter several times now here, and so resuming uptrend. And if we get RSI back above the 60 threshold, well, then it could get more speed into the uptrend. Aussie yen, basically same picture. Currently, the RSI is back above a 60 threshold, and I think we'll take out the 104.86 level fairly soon, and it gives potential higher to around above 105 and potential up to around 105.70, possibly up to 106 and a quarter. Sterling yen actually did take out its previous peak and is now pushing towards 200, 2.5, 203. I think here in the coming days and week. Despite showing divergence, that's a little bit sign of a strength here, and the trend is up. So there is positive sentiment. So we should, all indicators tell us we are moving higher, but the uptrend is weakening a little bit. But a fairly strong move there. Aussie dollar, not really much to say, still in this range here between 67 and 66.80. Dollar Canada dip to the 55 moving average, touching the cloud area. If it breaks above 137.90, then I think we'll see it taking out the previous peak over here at 138.46, and we are looking at the 139.5 level. Swiss trying to get back, Euro Swiss here trying to get back above 96.75. I think it will be reacted at the end of the day, but despite the fact if it comes back up here, it's still in a negative sentiment, or bearish sentiment and bearish trend, and I think we will push lower. However, 96 level is the key support level and the 200 moving average. So expect some range trading around the 97 level without any direction. Dollar Swiss 89.90, just below 90 level. Resistance support at 88.80. That is the range to break out for direction. Finally, the dollar index We are looking at got rejected at 105.38 as we talked about yesterday. Tried to get back below 104.25, but didn't manage to do that. So now, while we can also be caught range bound in this range between 105.38, 104 and a quarter. If it does break below in this area here again around 104, I would expect the 103.68 also to be broken. Gold is hovering around this 23.14 level without clear direction. Still positive sentiment on the other side, but we do have divergence. So it's a little bit, I'm a little bit unsure at the moment. I want to see a break. I want to see a close below 22.77 or a move above the 23.88, which is the peak here. Let's just draw a line so it's much more clear horizontal line. That is the level, and we could expect a lot of volatility in this range here in the coming days. Will it RSI break below 40, or will it move back below above 60? That, I think, that will be the key or the first indication of the real direction. Silver almost dipped to the 28.5, can still do that, and the 55 moving average. There will be some strong support. It is not unlikely, however, that it could dip a little bit lower, given that we are in a downtrend. However, if it moves back above 30 and a quarter, well, then I think uptrend will resume. At least there will be some strong foundation for it. And still, let's have a look at the inverted shoulder pattern. It still hasn't closed above the trend line or the neckline here. It really needs to close. It's tried a couple of times for a push higher, so keep an eye on that. There was a more in-detailed update out the other day, so keep an eye on that. Have a look at that one for potential up to 83, 84 level, or will it actually take out the right shoulder for cancelling and demolishing this pattern? That will be key. Platinum, it's on course to the 786 retracement at 941, and I think it will be touched. We are in a negative sentiment on the RSI. It should be touched. Can it hold? That will be key. Will it also stay above the cloud? Will it stay above the 200 moving average? That will be interesting here the next few days. Copper hovering between 440 and 450. It's buying a little bit higher, but I want to see it above 470 for a trend reversal. We are still in a positive sentiment on the RSI. So I do believe it will occur, but keep an eye on 443 to be exact. That if it takes out that, well, then we are probably looking at levels around 424 area. On the energy market, we have WTI seems to be rejected here at the 786 retracement at 78.88. I think it will slide lower here in the coming days. A negative sentiment on the RSI still in the mix, and slide lower towards a 75 level in the coming days and weeks. We have also Brent here reached the 786 retracement at 83.25. I think it will slide lower below to around $80 in the coming days and weeks. We have the US 10-year Treasury yields dip below 427, support here yesterday. Closed above, but we are in a negative sentiment, so we could see another push towards the 420, 417 for upside potential above 448. And let's have a look at the 2 years since it was FOMC day yesterday, where they kept the leading rates unchanged. The 2 year actually dipped below 466, but closed well above, so we are still in a cloud, but negative sentiment. So there could be another pressure. If it takes out that, well, then we are looking at levels around 448 area. All right, that's all for today. Have a nice day and have trading.